Hello everyone, Kid Heart Takara here for a top 10 list, and this week's topic is Final Fantasy VIII Summons. As you know, I am a huge fan of Final Fantasy VIII, considering my first video was all about it. While I do have new topics I want to cover, I want to give a little more love to this game. So here is my list of top 10 summons from Final Fantasy VIII. Starting off the list is the ever so adorable Carbuncle. I'll admit it, he is on here for just being cute and cuddly looking. He's so cuddly looking, I even made a plush of him. I liked his design so much. But learning the ability Auto Shell is quite a plus to me. Doom Train comes with a story of sorts. Earlier on, while playing Final Fantasy VIII, I learned too late how to get him. I found out that to acquire Doom Train, you have to gather certain items from monsters, whether it be by battling them, or by using the Mug ability while battling them. So, I decided to restart the whole game so I could say I got all the summons, and I do have to say it was worth it. I love Doom Train's creepy, haunting design, and his animation is quite terrifying. So, Tomberry King comes with a story too. So my friend was over when I went to get Odin while playing the game. And afterwards, she asked me if I had gotten Tomberry King yet. I said not yet, and she insisted on me trying. I felt I wasn't quite ready yet, but I went ahead and tried. So you see, you have to lure out the king by finding a varied number of normal Tomberries first. So I started fighting one when my party was nearly wiped out in about one hit. I had not saved yet after getting Odin, so I started trying to escape. And Squall barely got out of there with 1 point of health left. After saving frantically, I glared slowly at my friend, who was laughing. Later on, I returned, and it was worth kidding him. His animation is really cute, and it's just hilarious to watch him slowly creep up to a monster to go doink with the chef's knife. Pretty worth it. Seventh Heaven is Eden. The strongest summon in the game definitely belongs on this list. But I'll admit that due to getting her so late in the game, I did not get as attached to her as others. But she is very worth getting. You get her by drawing her from the ultimate weapon at the bottom of the Deep Sea Research Center, which, as I stated in my last video, is one of the hardest bosses in the game. When you survive this fight, you feel a sense of pride, and she is very crucial for some of the final bosses towards the end of the game, especially once you reach Ultimecia's castle. And did I mention that her summon is about 3 minutes long, so that's plenty of time to get that boost up while you're watching that animation. And as a plus, the animation is pretty cool to watch. Alexander is just one that has an awesome design. A steampunk knight that is essentially a walking castle emerging from the bottom of the sea in a glory of beautiful sunlight as he crashes along the shore. A holy knight, which is funny considering you draw him from the final fight against Adia at the end of the second disc. He can learn to help you refine your medicines as well. And he learns the revive ability, which is very important for battles later on. Diablo, the opposite of the Holy Knight, is one of the ones I happen to use a lot. His summon animation is unnerving and haunting, but he has quite a punch. I usually junction him to Irvine along with Cerberus and Doomtrain, creating the whole Weird West cowboy theme. You challenge Diablo after receiving a mysterious lamp from Headmaster Sid. Once using the lamp, you are thrust into a fight with Diablo, and after fighting him, he will join you. He just happens to be one of the ones that I used a lot. And as I said before, his summon animation is very creepy to watch. I love dragons of all kinds, and Leviathan is quite a cool dragon. I love Leviathan's waterfall motif straight out of the Eastern folktale of the carp swimming up the waterfall and emerging as a powerful, serpent-like dragon as he commands the waters. You acquire Leviathan by drawing him from the Norg boss fight, and it is quite the powerhouse for me. I usually junction Leviathan to Squall, and seeing how he can learn the recover ability, he is quite crucial for fights later on. Out of the two that you start with at the beginning of the game, Shiva is my favorite. I just like her design, I like her summon animation, and she was part of the initial experience of Final Fantasy VIII when I started playing, and how different the game was going to be. I always have her with Squall due to this. Shiva's just cool. Sorry about that. As I said, I love dragons, and Bahamut is an awesome dragon. You find Bahamut waiting for you in the Deep Sea Research Center on the first floor, and after a grueling fight, he agrees to join you. Bahamut is another one I tend to give to Squall. He's just awesome to me. He breathes fire, his animation is filled with what it means to be a dragon as he soars through the sky and unleashes a powerful fiery attack. This one may surprise you. However, Odin counts as a guardian force. You find Odin via a side quest at Centra Ruins. You hear a voice beckoning you, challenging you to seek out the owner. After solving puzzles and climbing the tower, you find and challenge Odin. If you defeat him within the time limit, he will lend you his strength. And by strength, he means he will arrive randomly and KO any monsters you are fighting. This is just awesome when it happens. And the animation for it is always one of my favorites in the game. As Odin confidently trots into battle on his six-legged steed. And then he just charges into battle. I've just always loved this animation. I've always loved this side quest. It's one of my favorites, and it was an early introduction to Norse mythology for me. And that's why Odin is my favorite guardian force. I just love the challenge of it. I love the animation. I can't say it enough. Odin rescued me many times throughout my Final Fantasy VIII playthroughs. and I am very grateful for that. Thanks, Odin. You are awesome. So those are my top 10 Final Fantasy VIII Summons. And now I really need to move on to other games and topics, but I will probably revisit Final Fantasy VIII again in other top 10s from time to time. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and remember, being a kid at heart is something to treasure.